Hello, John here with another video. This is my issue 7 BBC Micro, the one that I'd got from the charity shop. Well, I've got some improvements for it. My MMC turned up, so what we're going to do in this video is going to plug it in and try it out and make sure it's working, but I'm not going to permanently plug it in. I'm just going to temporarily do it, so the cable will be on the outside, because I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with the board, the case yet, whether I'm going to put it in here or chip out something on the back, or so at the moment I'm just going to put it in to make sure it's working and put that in the user port and just have it loose on the outside. Alright, so with that done, so I'll take the case off, which I've already done. That exposes the motherboard, and then you need to take the keyboard out, and I've done this already as well to save time. And what we're doing, let me see if I can zoom in here. What we're going, this is the OS chip, this is the basic chip, and these are the spare ROMs. And what I'm going to do is going to move the basic chip to here, to the highest point, and then put the MMC directly below it. And then that is just it. That's how it should work. So when I've done that, I'm going to put the keyboard back on top, plug it into the telly, and see if we get MMC coming up. So I'll do that now. So I need to get me chip extractors. So this is basic, and what you need to do with chip extractors, you need to pull it straight up. Don't bend the pins, just literally straight up. So you give it a little bit of wiggle, and there you go. And then you should have something like that. Straight pins. Now I'm going to put it in there, and there's a notch, and if you look at the CPU, there's a notch at the top, and so we're going to just put that straight onto there. Carefully make sure the legs are seated, looks like it, and then just gently push. There we go, and we're in. So the next one is to get the MMC one and do exactly the same as there, but this one's got a bit of a bent pin there and there. It's like someone didn't pull it out of the EEPROM straight, but it should go in. So we're going to do that. Make sure all the legs are seated, and push in. There we go, and that's it. The MMC is already connected up, so orange to orange. It's got the 1 GB memory card in there, but I'm just going to leave this on the outside and plug that into this end into the user port. So I'm going to put the keyboard back on, plug it in, and then we'll take it over to the other end and see how we fare. So plug it on, put the connectors in place. There we go. Right then. Oops, forgot to. Right then. So I'll put the connectors in place, zoom back out. And I've put the keyboard back on. Going to plug it into the telly now, so I'll see you in a minute. Right then, so we've plugged BBC into the TV, so it's just a case of switching it on. So we're listening for those 2 beeps. Here we go. Would help to turn the power on. There we go, the 2 beeps, and hey presto. Right, so let's see, if we do star help, there you go, D utils, so star help, D utils, there we go. So that is the yep, that's the MMC. So if we do star dcat, we should see what's on the memory card. Oh, star card, that's it. Star dcat. Oh, it's saying there's no card in it. Okay, let's switch her off. Let's just make sure that the card's in properly. Make sure the user port's in right. It looks it. Just take it out and put it back in again. Got no bent pins or anything like that. Right, put it in. It's locked in place. Right. Beep. Star card. Okay. Star MMC. Star cat. No. Oh, we got a problem. Oh, it's there. It's saying there's no card in it. I wonder if the card's formatted. Right, just bear me a second. Let's have a quick look at this card. Well, there's definitely something on it. So I'll put it back in again. Pull the cable out, put it back in. Ah. No. Where's the manual? Let's have a look. Right guys, this is the BBC, and where I left it, it wasn't working with the MMC card, and what I did was these two here, that one and that one, are the input-output chip 6522s, and what I did, I just swapped them over, and then the Turbo MMC worked. But then I didn't have a keyboard, so I knew that this 6522, which I'd moved into there, was faulty. So what I've done, here is a VIC-20 motherboard. I nicked a 6522 out of here and put it in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rebuild the machine, because if you notice the 6502 is missing, and I'll show you what I've done with the other end of the Turbo MMC. So I'll see you in a minute. Right, put the 6502 back in, and this is going to be explaining this in another video. This is a modern day sideways RAM stroke ROM, but that was just basically to show you that the 6522 is under there, which feeds the user port. And now I'm going to show you what I've done with the other side. So here we are, got the top of the BBC, and it's at the back. So this side is where the power supply would be. So I'll put it on this side. And what I've done is I've just cut a slither out of the back plate and then just fixed it on using its feet. So be able to get to the MMC card when I've closed the lid, and then the cable, which is here, is long enough, because what I've done is I've fed it. So instead of coming out here, I moved the motherboard. I lifted the motherboard out and moved it back so we could get these back here, and fed the cable inside so it's not outside. And there's only just enough outside for a loop. So I'm going to put this all together, and we'll see if she works or not. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Take care, bye. Right, put everything back together, and just to show you, so I've got the video cable in, and just where the video cable is, there, is where the MMC card is. So you can pull it out and put it back in. It's a bit difficult when I can't see what I'm doing. Put it out, put it back in. So what we're going to do, got the telly on, and we'll give her a try. And guess what? I've put it together and I forgot to put the speaker cable in. Right, better turn it off. I'll sort that out. Right then, 5 minutes later, take two. Let's see. I've got to plug her in. No. There we are, plugged her in now. Yep. Take two. There we go. Beautiful. There you go. One beautiful screen. And it says Turbo MMC. So, now the reason why I've got XMON 2 is because of that sideways RAM, but that's going to be another video that I'm playing with. But just to show you that everything's working, so before, when we did D card, it came up with card question mark. It's allowed it. So D cap, Control N to slow it down. There we go. And all the images are on there. So, I mean, it's got, let's have a look. Let's see disks, see if we've got any. Right, so we haven't got an empty image, but what I'll do is I'll star drive 3, star D in 307. Let's see what's in that. So we got Arcade, Invader, Snapper, Chucky Egg and Meteor. So there, oh, so there's the loader, look, our loader. So I've got to figure out what that means. Files called R something can be loaded into sideways RAM. You can do this using the rload program, and a typical syntax might be start rload r.snapper for q. Obviously you have to use the appropriate socket number. Right, well I'm not going to do that now because that can be part of my sideways RAM tutorial. So if I do dcat now, what else we got on here? So there's ROMs on here as well, star ROM. So star d in, well we'll do utils. We'll look at the utils. What's in utils? Star dot. So we've got copy. So copy a disk, ffind, rload, said MMC. You'll have to find out what that one means. So these are all the standard. File, advanced file system, or just normal DFS system. So if we do the star deboot 0, we should get the games. And there we go. Right, let's see if I can find Planetoid. I like Planetoid. See if it works, because I know it works. This next one, here we go. So I know it works on the emulator. Let's see if it works here. So AZ space reverse, enter fire, shift for thrust. And it still doesn't work. Must be something wrong with the image, because that image works in the emulator. Oh well. Never mind. So deboot 0. So what? Let's see if there is oh, what was that game called? Saw it the other day. Oh, what was it called? Dear me, my memory's atrocious. Oh, Beachhead. God, I played this on the 64. That's a bit silly. Okay, skill level 1. Press space. Alright. Ah. Well, I found left and right, I'm just trying to find up and down. Oh. Anyway, enough of that. So, control F brake. There we go. So that's the Turbo MMC put into the BBC. And it's also got a sideways RAM, which I'll do another video on. So with that, I will say goodbye for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye. I'd like to thank all the patrons that are contributing to my channel. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. Thank you very much.